What's up, everybody out there? This is your boy Jay. Again, hitting you guys up from YouTube space. The reason why I'm actually posting this video response to my own first video is because there has been some issues that have come up and some things that have been said that I really need to address as it attains to or pertains actually to Heath Ledger's death and some false information that's been put out there, and some people have been criticizing me from the information that I put out. And really all I did was I was the very first of all, let me just say I was the very first person who even put a video about Heath Ledger's death on YouTube. I was the very first person that is not a part of the media community to do so. So I wanted to do it to get out there to the people that were maybe at work during the time the news broke, or maybe in school during the time the news broke. This was the reason why I did that video in the very first place, was to give people a chance to check it out that way. But people, I know you can't please 100% of the people 100% of the time, and I have gotten some very nice responses back from people on both videos that I did. The first one being titled Heath Ledger Dead at 28, and then the second one being titled Heath Ledger Dead at 28, the new post. So anyways, I just want to say that the racism has to stop. I'm almost at the point right now to where I just want to disable the whole thing when it comes to people being able to even write responses on my videos. Being called everything from the N-word to monkeys and all this other kind of stuff that people have been saying. I have very thick skin, number one, but number two, it's very hurtful because it hurts other people of African American, Hispanic, people of color, all people of color. It hurts when we hear and see racism the way that it is. Now, my feelings were that I did this to put out there information that was being put out there by the media to let people know that this young man had passed. And of course, you can't just tell somebody, "Oh, well, you heard of the actor Heath Ledger? Yeah, he was talented, and guess what? Oh, he died." What's the next question people are going to ask you? How did he die? Right? Okay. That's exactly my point. That's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I made the first video post in the very first place, was to try to act as a normal person who just wanted to put normal information out there. Now, granted, I am in school for broadcasting, but I don't claim to be the best broadcaster in the world, okay? And there are a lot of people who broadcast who are professionals and who make money doing this who aren't really that good at all. But I just wanted to say that my video post in no way was to make myself famous or capitalize or anything like that off of the death of this young man, Heath Ledger. My whole thing that I wanted to point out to people was that this man was in my generation. He was in our generation. He was someone who the movie that I went to the movies to go actually see of his was the one when he played in The Patriot with Mel Gibson. I went to the movies to see that one. All of his other films, I caught him just on cable or whatever. I didn't get the chance to see Brokeback Mountain or whatever. But I think at the same time too, it's hysterical how a lot of the media just focuses on that one, movie that he did, as if that was all of his career. So it's a shame that people are, attaching to that and are questioning this guy's sexuality and calling, just making all kind of homophobic remarks. They've been doing it on my message board as well, on the post of these videos, and that's why I said, you know, I know for a fact that a lot of his family members, a lot of his friends come on here, come on YouTube to see what we are saying about him. And for them to have to read some of the homophobic racial remarks, you know, I'm just not with that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to bring these people any more kind of pain than what they already have. And I think that it's evil. I think it's just a lot of evilness out there for people to want to make a joke, you know, and want to belittle other people just so that they can have, you know, a laugh or whatever. I don't know what the hell the motivation is behind it, but I do know this much. I am not a pushover, number one. If you knew me, you would know that I don't take nobody's BS, number one. Number two is I have a heart. I just lost my sister myself 6 months ago. No, it didn't happen in the same circumstances as what took Heath's LEDGER life. And let me also say this much too. The media needs to stop, because wait for the toxicology reports to come back. We already know now the $20 bill that they tried to come out with and said, oh, well, you know, it had residue on it. It had narcotic residue on it. And then here it is, they tested, it comes back, $20 bill was completely clean. And here it is, they had people thinking that this man was on drugs. And if you go down the list of the people who wrote posts that were negative, they were talking about, oh, well, he was on drugs, he was a drug addict, and he deserved what he got, and this and this and that. And it's like they were basing that opinion on what the media was coming out with, talking about, you know, all these drugs was in his room. And here it is, none of that stuff was true. He had legal medication that he was taking. 30% of males in the world living, walking around here on earth have problems with insomnia. They have problems with sleep deprivation. It's a real deal. I have it. So he was actually on medications that were prescribed to him legit to help him with that situation. Now, we already know making movies in Hollywood life, that's crazy, and those people get no sleep. They are not on any sort of set schedule. They're jet setting around the world, which means that they're in different time zones all the time. And hell, I would get confused on when to go to sleep and when not to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, I just think that people need to realize this man had a family. This man had an ex-fiance, and you know, he had people that cared about him and loved him, and this man is gone. He was taken from us long before he should have gone. You know what I'm saying? Long before he should have gone. And now we're left with the thoughts of how great, how powerful, how big his career would have been, because he already had an Academy Award nomination before he was 27 years old. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just think what kind of work he would have been able to done had he would have made it into his 50s and 60s, you know, and 70s or whatever. And now we'll never know that. You know what I'm saying? All we have now to look at is what he's already done and what he's left us in The Dark Knight, which is soon to come out, you know, in the movie theaters. So all I'm saying to you guys is, I have in no way tried to hurt anyone. I was hurt. I was emotional about this situation, not because I know Heath Ledger, but because of the fact that I know his family is hurting the way that my family is hurting right now because of the death of my sister. My sister left here at 29 years old, found out she had breast cancer at 28. It took her that quickly. So all I'm saying is we all suffer hardships. We all suffer adversities in our life, and no one is here forever. All I wanted to point out is, remember, we need to remember how great of a life this man had. I remember how great of a life my sister's life was. And we don't have to be famous to be good people, number one. We don't have to be famous to be people whose deaths are really, you know, really felt, really have an impact. And yes, he was famous. Yes, his death has had a profound impact. but it also reverberates in our minds on our own